It's 1 o'clock.
It's 101.
101. We're in America Web Radio, the most eclectic mix of conservative shows, and this is...
Let's talk Venezuela. Oh, we're going to talk about Venezuela today.
Hey, my dear friend Brad, how you been, my friend? Good.
We're going to be dropping some bombs.
Yeah. Today is a very special show with the things that is happening with Venezuela. Yes. David Moxley today is doing another shows for the radio station.
Great.
He's developing a lot of new things. So
Great.
Be ready. Okay.
Let's talk about Venezuela, man. Okay, what's the news? Okay, you're gonna start with. I wanna talk about this when you finish your intervention.
Okay.
Intervention.
The snake oil that Mr. Maduro is selling, the wonderful drops of Jose Gregorio Hernandez.
The miracle drops.
Yes.
What is that about? What are you talking about? Okay, Jose Gregorio Hernandez is a.
Okay, let me first put the declaration of Maduro, and then you read.
You gonna translate?
Yeah, well, everyone.
Okay, let me make the preamble.
Okay.
Habiendo recibido el permiso sanitario oficial del
Having received the special sanitary
permission.
puedo presentar la
I can present
medicina que neutraliza el
the medicine that neutralizes the COVID-19.
100% del coronavirus.
100%.
Carbativir,
The Carbativir,
conocido como las goticas milagrosas de José Gregorio Hernández. Aquí las tengo.
better known as the miracle drops of Jose Gregorio Hernandez.
But who's Jose Gregorio Hernandez? Who people doesn't know? Who is he talking
He
about?
he was a doctor in Venezuela.
He was a Venezuelan doctor. Okay.
Yes,
In what years was that?
And he was born in 1865, and he died in a car accident in 1919. And he's proclaimed as a beato, he's venerable in Venezuela as sort kind of saint.
So he's on the way of becoming a saint by the Catholic Church?
Yes.
He was a Catholic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but he was.
But how he's going to be a saint? He did a lot of miracle or what?
Yes.
He's been doing a lot of after he died?
Yes.
People are doing.
Yes. There are a lot of testimonies about his miracles. Yeah, but that's another theme. The thing is that Jose Gregorio Hernandez was the first microbiologist in the history of Venezuela. He studied in France, and he brought the microbiologist studies to Venezuela. He came with a lot of microscopes, and in order to identify, the bacteria that produce a lot of sickness. He was a very serious scientific, and he had that call because he wants to be a priest, a Catholic priest. He went to Italy, but he failed in that mission to be a priest, and he returned to Venezuela. So, and he had a very good fame to be those kind of doctors that give a lot. He went to visit a lot of sick people that cannot pay for the services, and he gave a lot of medicine to the poor people.
Oh yeah, with the mentality of somebody help me out.
No, he was in the line of the Hippocratic promise that the medicine is a call, and you have to be a doctor to heal people because it's your call. It's not a business. And
So he was doing it with, not like a business. He was doing it as a call, like a preach. A lot of preachers. I mean, well, in America, it's a little different when somebody's a pastor or a spiritual leader, because here, it's a different approach.
Yes.
But in Central America and South America, in order for somebody to be a spiritual leader, they need to prove themselves that they can be a spiritual leader. And most of them, they die without nothing. I mean, they don't enrich themselves. They suffer a lot of negligence.
Your dad is a perfect example of a missionary Baptist that went to the forest in Venezuela and do a lot of good for people that had nothing. So that's,
well, they used to send my father to the places that nobody else wanted to go. Okay, he was original from Colombia, and he had a call to be a pastor, to be a missionary. More than that, missionary. His calling was to become a missionary and be a missionary. So they used to switch us every 4 years, every 3 years, every 4 years. They used to put us in different cities. It's not even cities. Towns. And I visited some villages too. You know, like I went all the way to the Amerindian in the Amazon area. The Amazon, you know. Yeah. So my father used to go to those places that are a lot of evangelical Baptist elite. They didn't want to go. Yeah. They didn't want to go because no.
But they show the results. Of people like your dad. So and he went to Venezuela to help people, and he did. And he did.
And then after he got no job anymore over there, he came to America. He came to America around 92, 91, something like that. I cannot remember. And then he brought my brother, and then my mom and my sister came in. I was the last one coming in, but I came in other circumstances.
You didn't come like the family.
No, I didn't come like a family asked for a family member to come. No, I came in a different way. The Lord opened the doors for me in a different way. Because the beautiful thing about America is when you apply for some kind of visa, you need to, in this case, in my case, was a work visa, right? Like work. Okay. The residency. And the church, I became alliance for the church, the Latino, for the Latino community. And I did have my degrees to back it up. Okay. Because nobody can become like working in some areas if they are not certified, they don't have the degree or the knowledge. You follow? Yes. Like for example, not anybody can say, oh, I am a nanny, or I am somebody. You need to show this government that you are a qualified person. Qualified for that. And exactly, and that you are not taking that job from nobody else from here. I see. Okay? So that back in those days, in 93, 95, 93, 95.
At that time, you just got your degree on theology, don't you?
Yeah, a year later I came, after I got my degree, a year later I came to the U.S. by invitation, and that was the way that I got my papers. And you were... Not by family, requesting a family, no, it was by the church requesting my services.
No TPS, no DEP,
no, because the church that I was working with, they had a Spanish community around the church, and a lot of Spanish in that community. They were from all over the place. I mean, from Mexico, from Honduras, Guatemala, Colombia, Venezuela. Yeah. Different countries.
So you were the liaison on the.
Yeah, they requested my help to talk and teach the adults classes.
Oh, I see.
Okay. I started helping the little kids, but then when they realized that I could do the adults classes instead of the children, they said, no, you got better potential, so let's do it in this. And then I was doing that for many months, different years. And then after that, well, I am here now. I am the I am a former candidate for the Georgia
But
congressional.
you never concede.
I never considered.
We will talk about that later.
This is the thing of being in America. The American dream really comes true for those one who think it's not true.
Yes, the thing now.
Okay, go ahead.
Is that I have to continue with the
medical drops.
With the infomercial, you know, because now Maduro is in charge of an infomercial, you know.
Yeah, but it says here that he cannot even declare.
We spent 9 months of experimentation and sick people, very with people that have tubes. Non-tubes, okay, etc. You know, massive, like all the patients that were in the Poliedro of Caracas, in the hospital, the Carbativil.
Stop it there. What's the name of the medication?
Carbativil.
That sounds like an Indian.
Yeah.
Like
later on, you
like an
read
Indian name.
Yes, and
Carbativil.
Yeah, Carbativil.
Okay, go ahead.
10 drops under the tongue every 4 hours, and the miracle happens. It's a powerful antiviral. It neutralizes the COVID. Made in Venezuela. Call now. 1-800 blah 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 blah.
Look what it says here, that he didn't want to release. I'm talking about Maduro, okay?
Maduro, okay.
It says here that he doesn't want to release the names of the brilliant Venezuelans' mind, okay, behind this medication.
Okay.
Saying that he need to protect them. Scientists at the home and abroad reminded skeptical. You know, they remaining skeptical. The local National Academy for Medicine say it appears to derive from the common herb thyme. Okay. Well, where do we have all our medication? It's not from plants.
For plants,
I mean,
of course.
Okay, so wait a minute. This is a conflict of interest for the pharma in America. They're not going to allow. Look, if they didn't get rid of Maduro before, with this, they can get rid of him because this goes against the interests of the pharma in America. And now that we are in the hand of the communist Democrats,
no, and you know
that's a conflict of interest.
You know that now there are very deep studies in Israel about the vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine on COVID-19, and they demonstrate that they have in some individuals paralysis on the face. You know, like when somebody has a problem with ACV, okay, and somebody said, okay, Pfizer. Where Pfizer is the same producer of Viagra, so somebody said, okay, put the vaccine on COVID-19 from Pfizer, and something is paralyzed.
Look what it says here. It's not the first time the Venezuelan leaders has promoted a cure. In October, he notified the Pan American Health Organization that Venezuela scientists discovered a molecule that nullifies the replication capacity of the new coronavirus. He hasn't spoken of the development since. He's also promoted a special herb tea he claimed can fend off the virus and the other ailments. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, but 4 months ago he was promoting something that goes in your back, you know, inside of your back, okay, and with what it was ionized oxygen, okay, So
hold on. You're talking about a medication?
No, a
or
procedure.
A procedure.
A procedure.
Oh, like a colonoscopy?
Yes.
And then they put some
oxygen.
Through the colon.
Yes.
That's what he was promoting 4 months ago.
Yes.
And now he's promoting a drops, 10 drops underneath the tongue.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the snake.
I mean, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on from this subject.
It says, check that out. Check the notice.
I will present a medicine.
No, after the
ionizer rectal. Maduro recommend 100% of coronavirus and Carbatir. Oh, okay. So he's not promoting anymore the rectal treatment.
No, but the Chinese do.
No, but they need to get their head together and promote something, because the coronavirus is coming from China. But the Carbativir, those drops are coming from Venezuela, but the Chinese own Venezuela. No, this is confusing.
Yeah.
This is confusing. But you know what? Let's talk about something else. What's the next?
The next news about
Venezuela.
It's that millions of barrels of sanctioned Venezuelan crude oil finding their way to China.
But hold on, but don't you remember? You correct me on this, Carlos. I remember when Chavez was alive, he did a big, like a billions of deal with China and the oil. And China gave them ahead of time some, cash.
Billions of dollars.
And then the contract was like 20 years or 40 years or 50 years in taking oil from Venezuela to China.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is the news?
The news is that that oil couldn't go to China. It may be the oil market's worst kept secret. Millions of barrels of Venezuelan heavy crude embargoed by the U.S. have been surreptitiously going to China.
But how are they taking?
The cat and mouse games that avoid detection and sanctions include ship-to-ship transfers, shell companies, and silent satellite signals. But there is another aspect of the dodge.
Okay.
It involves doping the oil with chemical additives and changing its name in the paperwork so it can be sold as a wholly different crude without a trace of its Venezuelan roots. Invoices and emails reviewed by Bloomberg show the length on which some traders will go to disguise the crude's origin and get it into Asia, making Chinese refineries an essential lifeline for Venezuela's battered oil industry. U.S. officials, of course, can't ban Chinese or any international companies from buying Venezuelan oil. They can financially squeeze them, though, by prohibiting them from then doing any business with American companies. That is why such intricate steps are taken to disguise the origin of the crude. Nonetheless, enforcement of the U.S. embargo is difficult, says Scott Model, Managing Director of Drapidian Energy Advisors, LLC. There are so many ways to circumvent sanctions, he said. There are many people willing to take the risk because there is so much money to be made. The documents show crudes that loaded in Venezuela, like one called Hamaca, are treated with chemical additives off the coast of Singapore and reappear on the market as cargoes with new names such as Sigma, or simply a bitumen mixture. Swiss Oil Trading S.A., a Geneva-based house, made the transactions, signing documents acting in behalf of Mexican oil trader Libre Abordo S.A., which was sanctioned by the U.S. in June for buying Venezuelan crude.
Okay.
In one email, a Swiss oil trader marketing Sigma urged the counterpart to violate a standard industry practice by keeping the original loading paperwork of a tanker. Putting original BL on board of a vessel is insane. Do not do it, the trader says, referring to bills of lading. You do not understand the problem you are getting into. An email responded to questions. Swiss Oil attorney says Swiss Oil Trading S.A. is not marketing and has not marketed crude oil from Venezuela. That's a lie, you know. Bloomberg saw documents for at least 11.3 million barrels of Venezuelan oil that were sold by Swiss Oil and delivered to China last year under the guise of other names. Custom data suggests these documents represent the tip of the iceberg, and other companies are also engaged in such dumping and selling. China hasn't officially imported Venezuela crude since September 2019, while its purchase for Malaysia, which hasn't significantly boosted its heavy crude market capacities. In 2020, surged to the highest in data going back to 2004. But shipping data show more than half of the Venezuelan exports last year ended up in China. By December, China accounted for all the country's oil export. Okay, it's a very long note, but now you know that the Chinese are breaking the prohibition that United States has on Venezuelan oil, and they don't care.
They don't care. Look, that happened during Trump administration. Trump is not here anymore, so they don't care now.
They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Okay, what are you gonna tell us about Mr. Guaido?
Oh, Mr. Guaido.
Mr. Guaido,
Mr.
the
Guaido.
United Europe
Okay.
Union.
The European Union states no longer recognize Juan Guaido as Venezuela interim president.
Why?
Venezuela's Juan Guaido is a privileged interlocutor, but no longer considered interim president. European Union state said that in a statement on Monday, sticking by their decision to downgrade his status. The European Union's 27 states has said on January 6 they could no longer legally recognize Guaido as after he lost his position as head of parliament following legislative elections in Venezuela in December, despite the European Union not recognizing that vote. Following the disputed re-election of President Nicolás Maduro in 2018, Guaido, as head of parliament, became interim president. Guaido is still seen by the United States and Britain as Venezuela's rightful leader. Well, now with the change of the administration, we don't know what will happen.
You know, the Democrats always play with the Venezuelan feelings. So
the status of interim president gives Guaido access to funds confiscated from Maduro by Western governments, as well as affording him access to top officials and supporting his pro-democracy movement domestically and internationally. The 27 European Union members said in a joint statement that he was part of the democratic opposition, despite a resolution by the European Parliament last week for European Union governments to maintain Guaido's position as head of state. The European Union repeats its call for the freedom and safety of all political opponents, in particular representatives of the opposition parties elected to the National Assembly in 2015, and especially Juan Guaidó. The statement said following a meeting of the European Union foreign minister in Brussels. The European Union considered them to be important actors and privileged interlocutors, it says, calling for the opposition to unite against the dispute role of Maduro. And as the assembly elected in 2015 was held by the opposition, whereas the new assembly is in the hands of Maduro allies, after the opposition called on Venezuelans to boycott the vote. Guaidó last week thanked the European Parliament for recognition him and President of the National Assembly as a committee of lawmakers who assert they are the country's legitimate legislator, arguing the 2020 parliamentary elections were fraudulent. Fraudulent?
That
The
sounds
2020 fraudulent elections
in Venezuela.
What are you talking about?
He's talking about Venezuela or America?
Or Georgia.
Or Georgia.
Oh,
Okay.
Georgia, Georgia.
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia,
Bueno,
Georgia.
what I'm reading in here is the Senate are going to start discussing the false claim. This is what they're saying, okay? Their false claim
Just a moment. Okay.
they are discussing the false claim of Trump saying that we went through to a fraudulent event in elections. Now the Senate are saying they're claiming that all this claim that Trump, it was a big lie. So they are coming together now with the Democrats, to do exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
Well, let's talk about that after these messages.
This is Rocky Blyer, and I hope you'll make plans to join us on January 28th for Warriors for Hope. I'm thrilled to be a part of this virtual fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and Warrior to Citizen. These organizations do so much to support veterans, first responders, and families who've been touched by pediatric cancer. I'd also like to thank David Moxley and his show, David's Pick, here on America's Web Radio, for supporting Warriors for Hope. And I know you'll want to join in and support this event as well on January 28th. So visit warriorsforhope.events. That's Warriors and the number 4, Hope.events. You can make a gift and reserve your seat for this virtual benefit. Again, that's Warriors and the number 4, Hope.events. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you at noon on January 28th.
Hey guys, it's Minister Frankie with Shine His Light Ministries. It's getting cold outside and winter is coming. It's time to shine a little light on our friends on the street. We're collecting blankets and coats for the homeless all winter long. Please donate by going to our website at www.shinehislightministry.com or text 770-655-8055.
If you live to serve and want to make an even bigger difference, consider joining the U.S. Army. With training in fields like medical care, linguistics, and engineering, an Army career can amplify your efforts with humanitarian opportunities all over the world. Plus, you'll receive competitive pay and incredible benefits, so you'll be taken care of, too. Learn more at GoArmy.com.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Now, running the news. What is the big news in this week?
Well,
Sarah Huckabee
is running for
governor of
Arkansas. Arkansas used to be the Clintons'
playground. Yeah.
You remember that movie Made in America?
Yeah, of course.
America Made? With the drugs and the Nicaraguans and the cartel
and everything
and the airplane pilots.
Everything went from Florida to Arkansas. Yes.
Yes,
And they distribute the coke, and not the one that is in a black bottle. No way. It's the other one.
Okay, so the Senate and here in America, they are being very active this week. Okay, it's only 3 days last week for this the usurper. 3 days last week and 2 days, 3 days this week. Is 6 days so far, no, in his usurpation, right? And he's already undue. A lot of executive orders from the past administration.
And he got into trouble already with two.
There's a lot of people going to start suing his administration for violation.
He already got 2 suits. One from the state of Texas that he lost. The second one is from the oil industry about the leasing that are in the federal properties, valid contracts that he want to null without any reason.
So there's a lot of suit coming up his way, and let's see what's going to happen, because now the Senate, the Senate and the Congress, both of them are in control under the Communist Democratic Party. So we're gonna see a lot of surprises, and I want to talk one of those surprises. Okay? Do you remember last week we were talking about the DED?
Oh yes, it's completely valid. I don't know what the Senate wants to.
Okay, this one here.
They want to have a TPS.
Bon Menendez. Introduced as well with other senators. I'm gonna give them their name. Another option. Okay, the TPS. We already talked last week. What is the difference between the TPS, the DES, the DED, and the other one? I cannot remember the other name. Okay. Okay. Since the Senate is in control of the Democrats, okay, you're gonna be seeing a lot of things going on in benefit of what the agenda is. Okay. Now that we know the Supreme Court is not as sane like we thought before, okay, a lot of things can happen, you know. And there is 3 requirements to concede the TPS. You know that, right? One is the natural disaster.
Yeah.
Second is a civil war. And the other one, what is the other one?
They were either or.
Either or, exactly.
Either or. It's only two.
So, Mr.
conditions.
Senator Menendez, who is original from Cuba, hey, these Cubans, man, always in the middle. He's complaining about the executive order of ex-President Donald J. Trump did the 2 days before he left.
President Trump.
Executive order for the Venezuelan.
Yes, but
protection for 18 months. So he says that is not just. Okay? And he's blaming the Congress from 2018, 18 or 19? 19, for not passing the TPS on the Senate, because the Congress, you know, the Congress, they pass it.
The House
passed it, but when it reached to the Senate, they block it. Why? Because of what we were explaining.
Of course.
Okay?
Of course.
So let me tell you the senators who are introducing this bill. Okay? The names are Dick Durbin from Illinois, Democrat. Patrick Leahy from Vermont is a Democrat. And Cory Booker from New Jersey, which is a Democrat. Okay? That's from the Senate. And from the bottom, from the House, you're having here a Representative Darren Soto, David Weiserman Schul. She's the best friend for the Venezuelan. Every time they come here, they go straight. The communists, yeah. She is a good friend from the communist Venezuelans. And the Republican, this is the part that it gets me like, Representative Mario Diaz-Balart is the only Republican who are pushing this from the state of Florida. And the TPS legislation was introduced as a bipartisan bill in the House on the January the 5th.
Well, meanwhile, Venezuelans are protected for the DED. So go before Mr. Biden
get rid of the executive order.
That executive order.
Executive
Hurry up, okay? Because that's a long shot, and let me tell you something. It's overlapping. Something
so
that is already.
Why wasting? I believe everything is doing by purpose just to waste time.
Yes.
Look, what is the purpose of being a representative? What is the main work for a representative? To go to the House to do what? Legislate, right?
That's one of the two.
What is the other main thing?
To represent 750,000 people.
Did you notice the last year and this year already both parties are wasting their time in impeachment?
In impeachments, yeah.
They are not doing nothing for people.
No.
Last year was the Democrats impeaching President Trump and the Senate. You know? Stop it. This year, they are impeaching Trump again.
Yeah.
But they're probably going to go all the way to the Senate because, it's on control of the Democrats.
Yeah, but they need 2/3 of the Senate to impeach a president that is no longer in power.
President. Yeah, but the whole idea of the impeachment is that he doesn't run back again.
Yeah, that's the same thing that the Adecos did with the Marcos Pérez Jiménez.
They did the same thing.
They did the same thing in order
We don't want you to run back again.
We don't want you to run
at all. So get out of the country. Go to Spain.
Yes.
Okay. But now, the last year and this year, the lead on the impeachment are the Democrats.
Oh, yes.
But then we had a Republican one who is impeaching the president now, Biden.
Yeah.
So the representatives are wasting time in impeachment, and they don't get things done.
Yeah, especially when they have to pass the law for the $1,400 that they have that the president needs to share for helping the economy.
Oh, there is another check coming in.
They're supposed to be.
So the 600 was not separate from the 2,000.
They're supposed to at least. The problem is this: $1,400 is not enough to kick the economy. Okay.
So they want to break it.
So that's what they did. They break the bill. It's 600 plus 1,400. But though that 1,400 is not enough to kickstart the economy, all the economists said that at least $2,000 per must be injected into the economy in order to kick the economy. And let me explain you why. With 1,400 or less than 1,500, the only benefit is paid off debts. Okay? But when you have $2,000, you can buy big things such a refrigerator or washer and dryer.
Well, it depends because a lot of people who already have their house paid off, what they need is money to pay their taxes.
Of course, but in order to...
But paying the taxes is not generating nothing in the economy.
Exactly.
But and then the person has to decide, do I pay the taxes? Because if I don't pay the taxes, Uncle Sam come and take my house away. Or should I buy a refrigerator
that we need,
or should I fix the AC or the heater?
Bingo. That moves the economy.
Exactly.
That moves the economy.
And then you move the economy, but then the government ends up taking your house out from you because you didn't pay the taxes.
Exactly.
So it's matter of
but you
priority.
You have to understand that there is something that this economy must be fixed. Okay, but the first thing is that they lost time trying to impeach a guy who is no longer in power when you have millions of families waiting for that money to do what they have to do with that money. Okay,
but that's the same thing.
But it's not Alzheimer's. President Biden is not my president. I'm sorry, President Biden. Okay. He has not Alzheimer's. He's a politician. He the only thing that he is not forgetting. He just saying, okay, I promised this money, guys.
I remember the first check came in last year. The one who delayed that check to be delivered was the Democrats.
Yes.
And they're doing the same thing this year.
Right now.
They're deliberately are delaying the help. The people, and they are blaming the Republican where they are the one who are delaying it, because this is the thing. Let's say this is the bill, right? Okay, this is the bill. Okay, this is the bill to give $2,000 to the Americans. Okay, but what happened is these people are so crookish into the crookishness that they put little things around. Okay, and then you start finding out money. They're asking money for Kennedy, they are asking money for center, for this, for the orchestra, for what it got to do with the COVID-19? What it got to do with the okay, when you assign money to a non-profit organization, how do you move the economy?
No.
Non-profit organization, they don't move the economy.
No, they don't.
They don't.
When you buy a fridge, or you buy a dryer and
or you
washer,
put a down payment to buy a car.
Okay, you move the economy in that matter, because the guy who sells that good is receiving the money, but at the same time he has to replace the inventory, and when he's replacing the inventory, the guy who produced the steel, the guys who assemble the things,
the appliances,
everything is moving.
Exactly.
Okay, but right now everything is still because the politicians in Washington are discussing that it's not for their interest that Donald J. Trump might be or could be elected in 4 years president of the United States. So it's ridiculous, the kind of damage.
No, this is not ridiculous. This is matter of their life, look. It's matter of their livelihood.
Do you think that this lady
Pelosi purposely want to break the economy down?
Do you
so
think
people depend on government?
On government, exactly. On government checks.
Yeah.
And that's and unfortunately that's a way that we are aiming at right now.
That's the whole idea why they wanted Biden in that seat.
Okay.
It's because we are going in that way of breaking America's economy. It's the only way. It's the only way that you can break America is through the money.
Yep.
Because the other way they couldn't do it. Okay. Okay. Another news.
Another news.
You have another one? There is a dispute between Guyana and Venezuela right now.
What's the dispute? About the oil and gas?
It has to be with the borders. Now they are again with the border, with the Essequibo. Venezuela border dispute with Guyana just got even testier.
they renounced about 20 years ago to that dispute. Chavez did it. Okay, he even in the maps, the Guyana doesn't appear anymore in the official maps of Venezuela. The reclamation area doesn't exist anymore in the official maps because these traders, okay, did it so. Okay, so
what happened is there were some Guyanese vessels around the area fishing, and the Venezuelan people,
the Venezuelan Navy, took them.
Detention.
Okay.
Detained 2 Guyanese registered fishing vessels.
Yeah.
So now they're adding to. The Guyanese were in their own
waters,
and the Venezuela went and took them. That's kidnapping. And then
but remember that these people never, as good communists, they don't respect any agreement.
No, they don't.
They don't. Okay, they will do whatever they please.
So, what do you think about the breaking the news this week here in America? Now we're going to talk about United States. There is a proposition. There is in the House. They want to make it legal, like a bill. Okay, making America to have only one political party, not 2 or 3. Just one political party. Who does it reminds you? Cuba.
Yeah.
Cuba.
Yeah, it's a totalitarian regime. Remember what this guy Gene Sharp used to say about elections on tyranny. Okay? And unfortunately we are now living in a tyranny. We're living in a tyranny, and it's very sad that people such as Rappenberger and Kemp are the one who instruments this tyranny. Okay,
they hand over the state to the communists.
To the communists.
Yes, because for example, we were talking last night in the round table, right? In the round table, we have different lawyers in there. Even a judge was in that conversation, and by the refusal of Kemp, Ralph Sperry, Gabriel Sterling, all those people, of doing the audit.
Yeah, the forensic audit.
The forensic audit. I mean, they refused to do what the legislator told them to do.
Yeah.
You see, everything started backward with them. Because on March the 6th, 2020, that's when Mr. Ralph Sperry changed the game, the rule of the game.
Yes.
So he basically, what he did was he set all the candidates, the Republican candidates in Georgia, he set them up in a trap.
Yep.
And he forgot to let us know the rule change.
Not only that, the change of rules, the only authority to have the power to change the rules
is the legislator.
Is the legislator.
Yeah, so he went above. He committed a crime.
Yep.
He committed a crime, and when President President Trump called them and told them, do the right thing, you guys know you did wrong. Now the Senate and the Congress in Washington, they're saying that they're gonna try to clean up all the lies that Trump was saying about the election. Okay, for that.
There are more than 150 eyewitnesses that declare in front of the Senate all the irregularities. There are more than 38 different electoral crimes. Okay? So the U.S. Congress can do nothing because there is something in the Constitution that says that the elections belongs to each state. It's not a matter of the U.S. Congress to define that thing. Okay? But
when you have people in the state violating even their own laws here, okay, when you have politicians violating the state laws,
when you have judges
violating
the U.S. Constitution,
when you have federal laws violating the federal Constitution, when you have the state laws violating the federal Constitution, ladies and gentlemen, that's the way that you lose your country.
Yep.
That's the way that you lose your country.
Yeah.
Because who gonna give them a frame of restraint then if they violate the Constitution?
When the state loses their power to administrate justice, okay, that's when the country began to be over. This republic, unfortunately, passed away.
It's dead.
It's dead.
The republic died in January 6, 2000. January 7, in the morning.
When they declare Joe Biden as president,
knowingly that
he's an usurper.
Yeah. And the Republicans help out on that situation.
Yes.
Both is not a conspiracy, is collaboration.
Yeah.
They collaborate, they organize, and they did it together.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
They did it together.
Yep.
Together. To what? To get rid of President Trump? Because they will never accept it. They never accepted that he won because the people elected him. So now you start questioning yourself. Did the election in United States ever was honest?
It's not a matter. It's not a matter if it was honest or not. I always said that the great merit of the elections with S at the end in United States, 3,100 plus different elections. The great merit is that there were 3,100 plus different elections. Okay, each county was in charge of what kind of election they wanna do. But since the year 2000, the states began to take control of the elections. Instead to have 3,100 plus elections, we only have 50 different elections.
That's right.
Okay, and what happens
when? How do they allow that?
What Rappenberger just did, he changed the system.
But Carlos, when you have two political parties, they don't agree. Suddenly they come and agree in doing something. This must be coming from
I
before.
told you since 2000, since the year 2000, when in West Palm Beach, they have a different kind of counting the ballots. Okay, on that difference, that we don't have a standard. Okay, now we have a standard, and the standard is what? Is Dominion voting machines that has 26 states.
No, I found out 46.
Well,
it's not 26 anymore. It's 46.
46 of the states are on
out of 50.
Out of 50.
Yes.
Okay, bingo.
Yes, we're done.
It's one. It's basically is one system.
It's one system.
Okay, and when you have only one system of election, the guy
Florida doesn't have it, and Texas doesn't have it.
The person that has the control
of the Dominion
of the Dominion software
has the presidency.
And now there are some bogus
claims
from Dominion that's false. But there is a declaration of the sellers of the machines of Dominion voting machines.
They say
that they control the machines with a cell phone. So that is the way it is right now, you know.
Yeah.
And the first thing that we have to do is get rid of those machines, get rid of the ballots.
Get rid of the software.
The software.
Because you can get rid of the machine, but if you don't get rid of the software.
The standardization of the ballots. Do you know something? We, at the end, I think we have to vote like the old times. Do you know how?
Writing in a paper?
Writing in a paper, in a transparent urn, and you put this paper inside. I think, and you vote, you count, and you declare at that moment how many votes each candidate got. Okay? Well,
hi, David.
Hey, David. How you been?
I like to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to come back next week. We're going to be continue talking about Venezuela.
Yeah.
And the oil with China.
Yes.
The miracle medication.
The miracle, yes. The
drop,
Jose Gregorio Hernandez drops.
Yeah, to cure the coronavirus. And we're going to keep talking about what's going on. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll be back next week.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to